Good morning. It is Saturday, October 18th, and this is Matt at 2A Cops. If you pay attention to the channel, you may have seen a video I published 2 days ago on the 16th regarding a Desert Tech MDRX that a customer of Boise Black Rifle has been having problems with for 2.5 years. I go through the whole email chain. I talk about all the issues he's had in that video, and then I move the cameras and I go to a live shooting, and I'm going to test the gun and see what happens. So as I'm setting the video up, I tell you what ammo I'm going to be testing through the gun. I'm running PMC X-Tac 62 grain green tips. I'm running PMC Bronze 223 55 grain, and I'm going to be running some STV Scorpio 55 grain 223. This ammo is not on their approved list of ammo to use in the gun, but they stated that crimped ammo is fine. The STV is crimped ammo. Both PMC flavors are on their approved list of ammo to use in the gun. At no point in my testing did I use any ammo besides those 3 loads. I'll even show you the clip here where I talk about what ammo I'm going to be shooting. They give them a list of ammo to use, and in that list, they say PMC Bronze is perfectly fine. I have mags loaded with PMC Bronze right here. I have not shot this gun. I also have mags with Scorpio, and I have some PMC X-Tac, 62 grain steel core, green tips. So there you have it. That's me at the range telling you what I'm going to be doing. The owner of the gun sent a link to my video to the warranty manager that he'd been dealing with for 2.5 years, and reiterated once again that he would like a refund, or that he was going to seek legal recourse. The video gets passed around up the chain at Desert Tech, and Desert Tech responded to my video in a comment, and I'm going to read that to you. I'm also going to put the whole comment here on the screen, and this was at least signed by Nick Young, CEO of Desert Tech. So here we go. In regards to this MDX rifle in question, our team tested it with 5 different ammunition brands by firing more than 100 rounds per type of ammo, and it had 0 malfunctions. We also tried the ammo that the customer was experiencing malfunctions with, and we found that the neck tension was so loose that on that particular ammo that the bullet was pushing back inside of the case, and in some instances I'm assuming he meant, even allowing powder to dump into the chamber area. The neck tension was so loose that we were able to push the bullet into the casing with just finger pressure. I'll give him that. That's some shitty ammo. This was, by nature, causing light strikes. Okay, maybe. Because the bolt would not fully close as a result of the bullet movement deforming the neck, and several times the bullet was pushed so deep into the case that gunpowder entered the chamber lug area, which would impact successive rounds from fully chambering, causing additional light strikes. This is where it gets interesting. Your video demonstration here is consistent with this explanation and our findings. Because we were able to make a positive determination that the loose neck ammo was definitely compromised and that all other ammo brands and types we tested had no issue whatsoever, we returned the rifle with instructing the owner to avoid the compromised ammunition. It is not general practice for us to refund money on a rifle that is found to be functioning properly. However, I would be happy to personally evaluate your MDRX rifle myself, and if it has issue outside of the compromised ammo in question, I will fully refund your money. Nick Young, CEO. Well, I'm not the customer, but I'm assuming at that point he's talking to the customer. So after reading his comment there, I responded to him because he's talking about using the loose neck ammo that was compromised. I said, Nick, I appreciate you taking the time to reply here. That said, you must not have paid attention when you were watching the video, if you watched it. I'm using the ammo that you said was approved to use in the gun. I can show you the email where you said PMC Bronze is okay. Additionally, if you watched the video, you would know that none of the ammo from my testing of this firearm, used 3 different loads, suffered any bullet pushback issues. In fact, the gun chambered every round just fine. It just failed to hit the primer hard enough to ignite the round. It did that with both PMC Bronze and STV Scorpio. I still have all the live rounds that I picked up from the ground in the video. So he responds to that comment of mine. 2A Cops. You used PMC bronze after using compromised ammo, which we found pushed the bullet deep enough into the casing to dump powder into the lugs, which can interfere with bolt closure until the powder has been cleaned from the lugs. I mentioned this in my response, but I am providing more clarity. Again, I'm willing to personally evaluate his rifle and fully refund his money if it is found to be faulty. And again, he's not paying attention to what I'm saying.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
This is the same issue that the customer has been having with them. He's telling them what the gun is doing, and they're responding to something that makes no sense. If he listened to my video, if he read my comment, he would know I am not having any bullet pushback issues prior to this gun encountering malfunctions. They're clearly not paying attention. I don't know if they all suffer from reading comprehension issues there or what, but this is getting bad. This is ridiculous. In response to him and his accusation of me using this compromised ammo, I said, I would really suggest you watch the video if you're going to comment on it. I did not fire any compromised ammo. I have never had any American quality ammo in my possession, let alone have I tried to fire it through this gun. In fact, prior to this whole saga, I'd never even heard of it. If you watch the unedited video of me shooting the gun, I did not edit it. The video that I posted 2 days ago is completely unedited because I didn't want there to be any allegations of me selectively editing the video, just showing malfunctions. So I started out with the gun and I was running PMC bronze. The gun was gassed too light. I made a 2-click adjustment on the gas and the gun ran fine. I got through 2 magazines. Well, the first one dropped a couple rounds. I got through 2 magazines, so I got about 57 rounds through it. I seated the 3rd mag, which was full of STV Scorpio, and the gun did not fire. Initially, I was looking at the rounds thinking potentially that ammo might be bad because the primers seemed to be a little bit deep set in the cartridge. I took that same magazine that I just pulled out of the Desert Tech, put it in my Tavor, and fired it just to function check the ammo to make sure the ammo wasn't bad. I wasn't trying to compare the 2 guns. Your suggestion that the number of locking lugs and the way the guns lock up would cause an issue. Okay, potentially if there was a bunch of contamination in the chamber. However, there was 0 contamination in the chamber unless it's just from powder being burned while the gun is being fired. I don't know what's causing the gun to not function. I just know that it's not functioning. You can watch me shoot the gun. It functions, it functions, it functions, it stops functioning, and then it never functions again. The unexpended cartridges that I pulled out of it are right here in my hat. I kept them. I have a picture of them all. I'm going to put them right here on the screen. You can see many of them have a very light primer strike. Some of them have no primer strike whatsoever. I don't know what's going on with your gun, but it had nothing to do with the ammo that I was shooting. The ammo that I was shooting worked fine until it didn't. When I started having malfunctions with the STV Scorpio, I went, okay, well, maybe it's an ammo issue. So at that point, by the way, I never, in the entire time of shooting the gun, experienced a sunken cartridge. The rounds that did not fire were just light primer strikes. None of them sunk the bullet. There was no powder in the chamber area or in the locking lugs. When I started having issues with the Scorpio, I grabbed a magazine full of PMC bronze. It didn't fire either. If you look at the picture of the cartridges here that did not fire, a few of those, the ones with a silver primer, that's the STV Scorpio. When I started having those issues, you can see I tried 3 or 4 rounds of that, and at that point, I switched to the PMC bronze, and it also did not fire. I'm not out here trying to jam your company up. I have multiple friends who own Desert Tech firearms. They all have had very good luck with your firearms. So while my friends have had good luck with your firearms, this customer has not. In addition to not having good luck with your firearm, he has had horrific luck with your customer service. Looking at the way you're responding to my video here, there seems to be communication errors because you're saying something's happening that clearly didn't happen. Same problem he was having in the emails. He was telling them what was going on. The gun won't chamber around, and they're telling him to check his gas settings. If you're loading a fresh mag and you're manually charging the gun, gas settings have nothing to do with it. So you guys need to pay more attention to what people are saying before you start responding. So let's just get this whole thing sorted out, get the customer taken care of, and be done with it.